Most people don't have an automation problem. They have a decision fatigue problem. They open Zapier, then make. Then someone on YouTube tells them n8n is more powerful. 2 hours later, nothing is built. 3 tools bookmarked, 0 systems running. And here's the hidden cost. Every week you delay choosing, you're manually copying data, rewriting prompts, forwarding emails, exporting CSVs, burning cognitive bandwidth on tasks that should have been delegated to a machine. You think you're comparing features. You're actually leaking leverage. This isn't a tools question, it's a systems question. Today, I'm going to give you a decision framework that lets you choose between Zapier, Make, and n8n in under 10 minutes, based on your actual operating model, not internet hype. And by the end, you won't just know which one to pick, you'll know why. Let's start with the real mistake. Most creators compare automation tools based on what they can do. That's the wrong filter. All 3 tools can connect apps. All 3 can run multi-step workflows. All 3 can integrate with AI models. Capability overlap is massive. The difference is not power. The difference is operating philosophy. And if you choose the wrong philosophy for your stage, you'll either overcomplicate your business or outgrow your tool in 6 months. That sounds small, but it isn't, because switching automation platforms later is painful. You have to rebuild logic, re-authenticate apps, and retrain your brain. So let's structure this properly. Automation tool decision is about control level, complexity tolerance, technical appetite, growth horizon, not features, but instead operating posture. First, Zapier. Zapier is opinionated simplicity. It assumes you don't want to think about infrastructure. You connect trigger to action, then maybe add a filter. After that, maybe a formatter step. Its posture is what I call delegation. It's built on this idea of opinionated simplicity. Just think, trigger, then action. It's linear, and that's intentional. Here's what that means practically. It makes it incredibly fast for just getting simple, repetitive tasks off your plate. The goal here isn't raw power. It's all about speed to get something working. As an example, if you're a solo consultant who wants a new type form submission added to your CRM, a Stripe payment to send onboarding email, or a newsletter sign-up added to Notion, that's a job for Zapier. Zapier is fast, not powerful, fast. That's the advantage. Time to working automation is minimal. The trade-off? Limited branching logic, less visual control. Costs scale quickly with volume, and advanced workflows become messy. Let's be honest. If you try to build a multi-branch AI routing system in Zapier, you'll feel friction. It wasn't designed for orchestration complexity. It was designed for delegation of simple tasks. That's the leverage. If your business model is simple and revenue positive, Zapier keeps you focused on operations, not engineering. But here's the failure mode. Cause, you underestimate workflow complexity. Symptom, Zap starts stacking awkward filters and paths. You duplicate workflows instead of structuring them. This can be fixed by either simplifying the logic or moving to a visual builder before it becomes technical debt. Zapier is not weak, it's constrained by design. And for many solopreneurs, constraint is clarity. Now let's look at Make. Make is visual orchestration. Instead of linear steps, you build systems like a flowchart, branches, routers, conditional logic, data manipulation modules. It's closer to thinking like a system architect. If Zapier is connect A to B, Make is build a process map. Here's where this matters. Imagine you're running an AI content engine. New idea enters Airtable. AI drafts outline. Conditional check for quality score. If high, send to editor. If low, regenerate. Log all outputs. Notify Slack. That's clean inside Make, messy inside Zapier. This is the philosophical shift. Zapier optimizes for speed, Make optimizes for structure, and structure becomes valuable when your workflows are branching, iterative, or data-heavy. But there's a trade-off. More control means more surface area for errors. Failure mode. Cause, over-engineering early. Symptom, you spend hours perfecting scenarios instead of shipping offers. Fix, only build complexity after revenue justifies it. We've all done this. You start with automate lead capture. 3 hours later, you're building a multi-layer AI enrichment pipeline. That's not leverage. That's procrastination disguised as productivity. Make shines when you run multi-step AI workflows, you need conditional routing, you handle structured data, or you think visually. But it requires systems thinking. If that energizes you, great. If it drains you, wrong tool. That's the decision rule. Now let's talk about n8n. n8n is developer adjacent power. It's open source. You can self-host it. You can inject custom code. You control infrastructure. That's freedom and responsibility. If Zapier is delegation and Make is orchestration, n8n is ownership. This matters in 3 scenarios. You need custom API logic, you want to avoid per-task pricing, or you want full control over data. For example, imagine you're building an AI internal assistant for a 10-person agency. You want custom prompt chaining, database queries, internal tool access, log token usage, version control. n8n handles that elegantly because you're not boxed into SaaS constraints. But here's the trap: failure mode. Cause: choosing n8n for cost savings too early. Symptom: you spend weekends debugging Docker instead of closing deals. Fix: only choose n8n if technical maintenance is strategic, not accidental. Self-hosting sounds empowering, until it breaks at midnight. This tool rewards technical comfort. If you enjoy tinkering, optimizing, owning infrastructure, it's powerful. If you don't, it becomes friction. That's the trade-off. Let's compress this into a 10-minute decision filter. If you want, fast setup, minimal thinking, stable business model, choose Zapier. If you want, visual system logic, multi-branch AI workflows, structured data control, choose Make. If you want, technical ownership, custom code flexibility, scalable internal systems, choose n8n. Simple, but let's go deeper. Because tools don't just reflect tasks, they reflect identity. Ask yourself this: when something breaks, do you want to A. Contact support, B. Adjust modules visually, or C. Open logs and debug code? Your honest answer decides. That's the structural difference. Now let's talk LLM integration specifically, because this is under the LLM mastery pillar. All 3 tools can call OpenAI APIs, but the way they handle AI workflows differs. Zapier treats AI as a 3-tier step: trigger, AI, action, and is good for auto replies, summaries, email drafting, simple content generation, but limited for iteration loops. Make treats AI as a module inside a system. You can loop until confidence score hits threshold, branch based on output, store embeddings, chain prompts. That's orchestration. n8n treats AI like a programmable layer. You can write custom logic around responses, call multiple models, handle fallback systems, build internal tools. That's engineering. So here's the subtle shift. If AI is supporting your workflow, Zapier works. If AI is your workflow, Make or n8n makes more sense. That sounds small. It isn't. Because AI-centric businesses require iteration, branching, and error handling. Linear logic breaks quickly. Let's anchor this with 3 real-world scenarios. Scenario 1, solo coach. You sell high-ticket coaching. You need lead capture, payment confirmation, calendar scheduling, AI-generated follow-up emails. You do not need routing trees. You need reliability. Zapier wins because the business complexity is low. Don't architect a spaceship to send a postcard. Scenario 2, content agency. You manage 20 clients, AI drafting, human editing, conditional approvals, reporting dashboards. You need branching and data handling. Make wins because structure reduces chaos. That's the leverage. Scenario 3, AI SaaS builder. You're building internal AI pipelines, custom prompt layers, webhook triggers, database logic, usage tracking, version control. You want control. n8n wins because ownership matters, but only if you're comfortable maintaining it. Now let's talk switching cost. This is rarely discussed. Automation is not just logic, It's muscle memory. When you switch tools, you rebuild mental models. That costs time. So here's the practical implementation process. Step 1. Define workflow depth. Count how many branches your main automation needs. If under 3, Zapier is fine. If over 3, consider Make. Step 2. Define error sensitivity. If failure breaks revenue immediately, choose stability over flexibility. Step 3. Define maintenance tolerance. Be honest. Do you want to maintain infrastructure? Step 4. Define AI centrality. Is AI a helper or the core engine? Make the decision. Then commit for 12 months. No tool hopping. Let's address another failure pattern. Failure mode. Cause: tool envy from YouTube. Symptom: switching platforms every 3 months. Fix: optimize execution, not stack aesthetics. We've all seen it. Someone says n8n is more powerful. Sure, but power unused is distraction. The goal isn't sophistication, it's leverage. Quick recap. Zapier equals delegation, Make equals orchestration, n8n equals ownership. Different postures, same category. Choose based on your operating model, not capability fantasies. That's the structural shift. Here's your 10-minute filter. Honestly, it really can be this simple. If your number one priority is speed, and you just want something simple for a stable business model, go with Zapier. If you think visually and you need to manage those branching workflows, especially with AI, that's Make. And if you're the kind of person who craves total technical control and custom logic, well then, n8n is for you. But hey, if you're still on the fence, I've got one question for you. And this question reveals everything about your true posture. When an automation inevitably breaks, and it will, what's your gut reaction? What do you want to do in that moment? Because your answer maps directly to a tool. If your first thought is, I'm going to contact support and have someone else deal with this, that's Zapier. If you want to open up a visual canvas and start dragging things around to troubleshoot the logic flow, that's Make. And if your first instinct is to open a terminal and check the logs, that's n8n. That's your operational identity, right there. Now, what should you do today? Do this today. Write down your most important recurring workflow. Map it in plain language. No tools, just trigger. Steps, decisions, output. Count the branches. That alone clarifies 70% of the decision. Do this week. Implement one revenue-impacting automation only. Not 5, 1. Measure. Time saved, errors reduced, cognitive load removed, then expand. Systems compound, but only when stable. So there you have it. You've identified your posture. The analysis paralysis part is officially over. Now comes the most important step of all, commit. Pick just one tool and stick with it. The goal is to stop thinking and start building. And for those of you out there building AI-centric businesses, here's one last little filter for you. Ask yourself, is AI a helper in your workflow, or is it the core engine? If AI is just a step, like say drafting an email, Zapier is probably fine. But if AI is the entire engine of your product with loops and all sorts of conditional logic, you're going to need the orchestration of Make or the ownership of n8n. Forget the tools for just a second. I want you to just write down your single most important workflow in plain English. What kicks it off? What are the steps? And this is the critical part. How many decision points or branches does it have? I guarantee this simple exercise will give you like 70% of the clarity you need. You know, in the end, you're not stalled because you haven't found the perfect tool. You're stalled because you haven't committed to a posture. So make the decision today. Are you delegating, orchestrating, or owning? Choose your posture, pick your tool, and just start building. That's how you create real leverage. If this gave you clarity, don't just think it, commit to it. Go to the comments and write one word: delegation, orchestration, or ownership. That single word tells you, and everyone else here, how you're choosing to operate. Because this isn't about tools, it's about posture, and posture compounds. If this kind of structural breakdown helps you think clearer and build smarter, subscribe. Every episode is designed to reduce noise, increase leverage, and help you build systems that actually hold under pressure. I'll see you in the next bite.